For me, the two best parts are the workouts because we know they've been vetted, they're safe, and you can jump in 2 feet. They're 6 days a week, so I know that he's committed. And secondly, the emails. Before this program, it was just a buckshot and a prayer. You send it out, you hope something gets back. Everything we got back was just come to this camp with the canned email. Now we can see who's opened, if they clicked on it. And then if we get a prospect camp invite, then absolutely, because at least they took the time to look at them.
I don't know, it was kind of frustrating at points because I felt like I was working hard enough, but I wasn't really doing the right things. Now, I think my 60 time is consistent at 7.2. My exit velocity righty, I just hit 109, and then lefty, I hit 98.
Here we have Sam and Paul. Feel free to introduce yourself, guys.
Sam McComb, 2027 from Pittsburgh, PA, catcher and first base.
Awesome. And we got Paul, dad, here. Sam, talk to me a little bit about before joining into the program. What was baseball like for you?
Baseball was a lot of fun, but it kind of felt like this endless spiral of I feel like I'm doing something right, and then it's not like I would lift 6 days a week, but I was hitting back one day, I was hitting chest the other day. I wasn't really moving like an athlete, so I kind of felt myself getting bigger, but at the same time not feeling more like an athlete as well. So I don't know, it was kind of frustrating at points because I felt like I was working hard enough, but I wasn't really doing the right things. So it was just like that endless spiral of just, I don't know.
Yeah. So the work ethic was always there. It was more about like the specifics of what we were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And walk me through, let's start on the physical side. You were talking about the consistency and your 60 time earlier. Do you know any of your metrics on where you were at before the program and where you're at now?
60 time, I was probably closer to like a 7.4, 7.5. Exit velocity from the right side, I topped out at 105, and from the left side, 96. I'm not quite sure about arm velocity. That's harder for me to get recorded, but yeah, nothing like too great. But now, I think my 60 time is consistent at 7.2. My exit velocity righty, I just hit 109, and then lefty, I hit 98, so that's been good.
There
And
we
then my
go.
arm, I mean, that's the one thing that I've had a little bit of struggle with, but my arm just feels a lot healthier doing all the workouts and stuff.
Real quick, if you have a son in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade who wants to play college baseball, listen up. At the Mendoza Baseball Academy, I built a triple play with the physical development, mental toughness, and a recruiting system that gets players noticed. And it's 100% remote, so no missed school, no wasted travel, just real results from home while your son works one-on-one with me. Click the link below to learn more and book a call with either myself or a team member today.
And it feels a lot stronger, so just got to put that together.
Let's go, dude. And joining into the program, I already know that like the exit velo was there for you. But walk me through what you just kind of mentioned before we started recording as far as your mobility and your athleticism and some things that coaches have mentioned for you.
Yeah, so I think these workouts have been awesome. I just did lower body day one today, and so it's just I like that just early incorporation of heavy deadlifts, like lifting heavy, but also doing stuff with like the step ups with the hip lock. That makes me feel like it's an athletic movement. It's really good for my cores and it stabilizes me. So I just felt like I've been getting stronger because there's a mix between strength but also like athletic movements, and I feel like that's really shown because I'm moving a lot better, but I'm also getting stronger too.
And then that comes with some of the comments from coaches. I guess, Paul, from your perspective as well, those comments of it looks like Sam has lost some weight, but in reality, it's probably just being a little bit more mobile. And anything that you've seen from your perspective in the development side of things?
Yeah, well, he definitely passes the eye test now. As a catcher behind the plate, he was really rigid before, never looked as quick. He definitely looks a lot more athletic, more fluid. He's more flexible. Training to be an athlete versus training just to get stronger, it was a big difference for him. And I think that's why you see the gains in the exit velo. He's definitely faster. I don't like complimenting him that much. But no, he's really come a long way. And I just don't notice it. Other people that he's been working with, like, wow, you look like you've lost weight. He's still 230. He's just shaped different.
Yeah, and obviously that's the basis of how we're going about it with the sport specific movements, right? So before joining into my program, Sam, like, have you ever been on a baseball specific program before?
I've had like pitching coaches and hitting coaches, but I've never done like specific lifts. I mean, my travel team did it as a team, but it was more just focused on everybody as a whole instead of like what you need individually.
Yeah, and that individual work through a remote program. I have to ask, like, did you ever do a remote program before?
I have not. I mean, during COVID, we did the Zoom workouts as a team, but nothing like this.
A little bit different, okay. And what was your overall experience, especially with like everything being mobile friendly, like the video demonstration, some of the course material? Like, did you have any trouble with that?
No, it's actually been very easy because if I'm confused about something, I just send you a message on Slack, and that's helped a lot too. I'm not very good with technology, even though I'm a younger guy, but it's definitely been very manageable. I go into the service on the academy, I search something up and I find it. So that's been super easy, and yeah.
I'm happy you said that you're not good with technology though, because like it's not that difficult. Slack's like text. But what were you about to say, Paul?
No, having the videos have been a game changer, right? You never want to, instead of tiptoeing into the workouts, he gets to jump in 2 feet because he sees the right way to do it. So the fear of injury is, gone because he knows how to do these the right way, which leads to maximum benefit.
No, without a doubt. 109 exit velo, jumping, a handful of miles an hour when you're in that upper tier, that's huge, right? You don't typically see 5 miles an hour in a short period of time, like 4 months. But I guess let's shift gears a little bit on the recruiting side, because I'm kind of curious, where were you at before joining to the program with your mentality in recruiting as a whole?
I was maybe this school, maybe that school. I'll send them an email with some of my metrics. I didn't have any highlight videos or personalized messages. It was kind of just, they were bad emails. I would actually put what I wanted to say in the chat GPT. I'd say, make me an email, and I'd send that out. So
Hey,
I
you
don't
talk
know.
about not having good technology and you're talking about ChatGPT, man. But no, it's funny how you talk about obviously that you're kind of criticizing yourself only a couple months back. With the, I guess just like the college commitment blueprint, reaching out to these schools, what's your outlook on reaching out to these college coaches now?
You send 100 and you hope you get 10, 15 clicks and
Mm.
hope for 3 or 4 responses. But it's just nice to see that coaches open it and click on it. I've gotten a lot of clicks, which has been really good. And when you get the responses, it's just awesome because you know they took the time to actually look through what you sent them. It's not just this copy paste email they send to everybody. So that's been awesome to know because this coach will respond and I'll see they clicked on everything, and that's just good to know that they actually took the time to look through everything.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's the same way that you were kind of talking about the structure. You were very inconsistent of your 60 time of where you were at before the program, some days up, some days down. It was interesting because the way that you described it is with specific numbers of like ratios, basically of this number of college coaches should be clicking on my emails out of, let's say, like 100, and out of those, there should be some that respond. So I guess, before joining in, how many emails would you say that you've probably sent to college coaches before the program?
I'd probably say in like 3 or 4 months, it was probably like 60,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah, I think since joining, I've sent 72, maybe more.
But now we have that little bit of a different
Hmm.
outlook on what's actually
Yeah.
happening and how they're engaging, and that's huge, of course. But I guess also just out of curiosity on the mental side, did you feel throughout the course of the program, any shifts in maybe confidence or your mental game?
Yeah, I've definitely felt it in confidence because I feel lighter. I feel like I'm moving better. And when you feel like you can move better, you feel better and have more confidence in what you can do. Before I felt a little bit like heavy and just, I don't know. I still felt like good, but I have a lot more confidence in the way I move and just the work I'm putting into because they're not easy workouts, but you feel so good when you do them too. So, and I just know I'm doing the right things too. And sometimes things are out of your control, but I'm doing everything in my control. So that's always good to feel.
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. And think about, of course, you being a catcher as well, that confidence that's going to radiate over to the pitching staff as well going into the season. Like that's something that those pitchers will be able to feel as well. But as far as maybe let's say your younger self was watching this video before you actually went through with the program, what would you tell your younger self as far as what to expect working throughout these next couple of months?
Trust everything he tells you and just put your head down and work. Because sometimes you're like, I don't know about this, but once you do it, you're like, oh wow. Like I think when I first started the workouts, going back to that, I was like, it's a lot of movement stuff, but it's not the heavy bench press and the heavy dumbbell row. But as I kept doing it and feeling better, I'm like, there's a method, and I just gotta trust it, trust the process.
So you were probably a little bit more accustomed to very foundational lifts of like a bodybuilder, bench, deadlift,
Yeah.
squat. And then now we started to do things, what it's kind of the kinesiology definition would be like, I think it's called bilateral. So we're on two different planes. And that's something that helps with overall athleticism on, the baseball field. So definitely, very exciting to hear some of your progress. And any last words from either of you guys as far as, the experience inside the program or anything that you'd like to share?
I like for me, the two best parts are the workouts, right? Because we know they've been vetted, they're safe, and you can jump in 2 feet. They're 6 days a week. So I know that he's committed. And secondly, the emails. Before this program, it was just a buckshot and a prayer, right? You send it out, you hope something gets back. Everything we got back was just come to this camp with a canned email. Now we can see who's opened, if they clicked on it. And then if we get a prospect camp invite, then absolutely, because at least they took the time to look at them. So I like that he's vigilant with it. And it's been 72, and that's probably half of what we'll send before this is all done.
That progression, it's been really exciting to see, not only on the metrics, which are exciting, but of course the metrics on the other side, right? And I always like to say what gets measured gets improved, right? And before sending emails, we didn't really have the measuring tools, and now we do, right? So really looking forward to seeing that progress move throughout this next baseball season.